Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy, and we're going to talk about Game Informer shutting down today. The latest casualty in what's turning into a gaming apocalypse from the feel of things. So let's cue up the music and we'll get right to it. Alright, so today is August 2nd, and Game Informer has shut down, and I guess the employees of Game Informer, it's owned by GameStop, you know, the weird gaming company that's in the malls and all that, and that had that weird stock shit going on a year ago. It's owned by them, and I guess they just shut it down out of the blue, and the people that actually worked for it got this. They learned it through social media that they were being shut down, and this is what they got. The final level, farewell from Game Informer. After 33 thrilling years of bringing you the latest news, reviews, and insights from the ever-evolving world of gaming, it is with a heavy heart that we announce the closure of Game Informer. From the early days of pixelated adventures to today's immersive virtual realms, we've been honored to share this incredible journey with you, our loyal readers. While our presses may stop, the passion for gaming that we've cultivated together will continue to live on. Thank you for being part of our epic quest, and may your own gaming adventures never end. Game Informer. A lot of people are accusing this of being written by AI, whatever the case may be. If you worked for Game Informer and you woke up today and you saw this, my heart goes out to you, because that is one of the most fucked up things I've ever seen. You don't do this to people. You don't do this to faithful employees. What made you wake up today and decide that today was the day you're going to shut it down, close it up, change the locks, and walk away? This had to have been something that was in the works for quite some time. You don't just do this. You know, Game Informer had a magazine, but they also had a website too. And currently that website, it's just a landing page now that it's gone. All the articles are gone. Everything that Game Informer ever did is gone. And that's tragic. Game Informer was not Kotaku. It was not IGN. It was not Gamer or any of these other garbage websites out there that are still pumping out filth on a daily basis. Game Informer was decent, man. 33 years. I was, 21. I just turned drinking age when the first issue came out, you know? That's insane. That's utterly insane. And I feel bad for everyone involved in this. I hope that you guys can get access to your old articles and all that, so that you can preserve them. It would be kind of nice to, maybe see if somebody actually goes in and archives all that stuff and puts it somewhere where people have access to it. You know, just for the sake of, history, man. The Game Informer gave us so much through the years. 3 decades. And and then to the individuals that work there, I hope you guys find somewhere to land, and you don't just accept garbage jobs with garbage companies like Kotaku and all that. Hopefully maybe some of you can get together and build, rise up from these ashes like a phoenix and build something new, and maintain that same level of decency that Game Informer had. Of course they were never perfect and all that, but nobody's perfect. No publication's perfect, no website's perfect, no gaming developer, anything like that, but they were pretty damn good, all things considered, and the people that worked there deserved way, way, way better. And I'm sorry to see this happen. I talk a lot about a gaming apocalypse and how things are falling apart and people are losing jobs and studios are shutting down, and we saw, was it Kotaku Australia go under, and that was celebrated because they were garbage. Things like that, that's a good thing to hear. Because they're the ones that push these weird narratives and insult gamers and all that. You don't hear that from Game Informer. They were straight up, man. They were cool. They were really, really cool. Let's look at some of the tweets about it. I went here to, see what's being said about it. And got Big Boss here. This is the second one that comes up after Game Informer itself. Actually, let's look at the comments of this first. This has got to be a hot mess. Yeah, thanks for all these years. Shinobi602. Y'all deserve better, that's true. as you can see, people aren't celebrating this because it's not like people are. Yeah, people care. This was a good publication, and it's sad what happened. Had this been Kotaku, this would be full of celebration. People would be laughing left and right and pissing on their grave and all that. No, this is bad. So, like I said, hopefully these guys will get together and rise up and do something together. Even if not all of them, maybe the core of them can do it, and some of the others can go freelance. Whatever, man. Maybe retire if you've been doing it for 33 years and move on. But it is the end of an era, and it's sad. And I don't want to celebrate this. Let's look at we're going to go take a look at layoffs within the industry this year, just developers alone, just to kind of get an idea. Now that we're halfway through the year plus, things are not looking good. All right, so here we go. So we see the number of layoffs in 2023 was pretty high, but January and February alone in 2024 gave us 8,000 people laid off. That's roughly the equivalent of all of 2023 put together there, right? There's, let's see, 1,000, 2,300, 2,700, 3,700, 3,900, 4,000. Let's just say 5 there, we'll bump it up, 6, 7, 8, roughly the same amount, give or take a few hundred. And that's sad, And then in March we had 597, 1,000 in April, May had 705, June had 632, July was the best month of the year so far with only 368. But geez, still, that's absolutely terrible. Let's see what was July about. Humble Games laid off 36 staff members. Yeah, Sony Interactive, the Bungie one, we talked about that. And and here we go. Game Informer announced they'll be shutting down completely. I mean, they're not a gaming developer, but, they are part of this industry. And we're just seeing it left and right. And there's a lot of reasons for what's going on out there. I know I preach a lot about wokeism in games because that's something that I find near and dear to my heart. I don't want to see games suffer. I want to see gaming return to something good again. To be something it used to be great. It used to be so much fun. And it's just turned into this cesspool of ideology now, political ideology and all that. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And, as one side pushes, the other side pushes back. And this is inevitable. This is the way humanity works. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, right? If you keep pushing this stuff on me and I don't like it, I'm going to keep pushing back, and it's going to make you angry, and you're going to keep push harder back. And, I see it in the comment section. People get very vile and all that. And it's, I find it amusing. I engage sometimes, but I'm probably going to stop with that because it's really a waste of my time. Because to people that act that way, every now and then I'll get somebody that wants to have a conversation, which is great. But for the most part, they're just like the unwashed masses, They're just raging lunatics that just want to cuss at me and all that and point the finger at something else. But, I do believe DEI is a big part of this and harming the industry quite a bit because people are not buying the games they used to buy. And people are, I myself have cut back immensely on things, It's like, I'm not going to support something that I don't approve of, and I am damn sure not going to give my money to a company that's going to call me a transphobe or a misogynist or whatever the word of the day is that they want to use because I don't want to play their stupid ass DEI infected game. So, naturally I'm a phobe. It's not because I want a better game. It's not because I don't want something forced on me. No, it's because I'm a phobe or I'm an ist or whatever. So, yeah, you're not getting my money. And I'm not alone. There's a lot of people like that. So that's part of it. But, the industry itself is in a shambles, I think. I think a lot of it, bloated costs of games. These games are just so expensive now. People are investing hundreds of millions of dollars into them. And they're failing. They're failing left and right. I think the push for live service games is a big bad mess that developers have got to get away from. They're not going to crack that market. That market is what it is right now. I mean, I don't blame you for trying once in a while, but it just seems like left and right we're watching live service game after live service game get pumped out several a year, sometimes a couple a month, and they'll make a splash. They'll make a splash. They'll do okay, or they'll just do abysmal from the start, depending on the game itself. And then they'll fall by the wayside eventually as people that tried it out go, oh, that was fun, but I'm going to go back to what I used to play and what was tried and true and where all my friends are. I can only get some of my friends to come play this with me, and we had a good time, but yeah, we're going to go back to this now where everybody is. And that's the way it feels. Like, that's the way it is with these live service games, it seems. That just there's not enough players out there, there's not enough time in a day, and there's damn sure not enough money. And if you're putting out a live service game that you're selling a lot of season passes for and cosmetics and all that, and then you're charging $70 for it or even $40 for it, man, that's a shame on you. Go for it. I think you would have a better chance if you gave the game to everybody and says, okay, here's the game. Here's some cool skins. If you put out a good game that was solid and enjoyable on every level, you might be able to carve out a niche in that market and maybe build that through the years. Would you ever achieve Fortnite status? Probably not. I mean, who's going to do that? That's insane. But, you might be able to make a nice ROI and have something that year after year prints money for your company. But I just think these guys, I don't know, budgets are out of hand. Then you look at like the pandemic. I know the pandemic gave everybody a little boost in the gaming industry because everybody was home. And they were home for who knew how long it was going to be, the whole bullshit with that. Everybody got their pay, their checks there from the government, and instead of doing the right thing and putting it aside for saving money and all that, they just bought bigger TVs or they bought PlayStations. Remember how hard it was to get a PlayStation 6 or a PlayStation 5 and a Xbox Series X when they first came out? They were nowhere, and part of it was a chip shortage because of the Bitcoin crap going on and all that. But a large part of it was people were buying it because they had that extra money and they had that time on their hands. Like, man, I'm stuck at home. I'm getting paid to be at home. I'm gonna play some video games and relax. I'm gonna get myself a Game Pass subscription or PlayStation Plus or whatever. I'm gonna buy this game and that game and yada yada. So that gave us a big, big boost. But then, and then the economy just took a crap after, imagine that after all that was said and done. But yeah, the economy here in the U.S. took a major crap. So that's a huge impact on us here. Gas is so much more expensive. Groceries are disgusting. I just set up my grocery list for tomorrow, and it's like $130 some odd dollars for like 3 nights of food for the 3 of us. Or no, 4 nights, I would say. Yeah, 4 nights. A little bit, a couple little extra things here and there. But just, it's a ridiculous amount of money that a year ago would have probably cost us $70. Roughly half of what we're paying now. And it's insane, But yeah, you combine all these things together, and then you've got management, of these companies. These guys are making big bucks, these leaders and all that. And some of them are making very poor decisions with their money. They're doing different things like that. Like, I know the head of Bungie there with his car collection, I guess. You've got people like the lady that was in charge of the studio behind Flintlock, who I guess did some other work on the side or started a company on the side and ended up bailing on that game before it was even released. It just goes on. And then you're paying these companies like Sweet Baby Inc. and all that millions of dollars. They were asking Black Myth Wukong for $7 million to consult with them. To do what? To ruin the game? To maybe lower the sales of it by, I don't know what percentage it would be. I'd be curious to see if we could see that number. Like if a game's pre-ordered and then that news comes out, how many people are going to cancel that pre-order? There's going to be a lot. A lot more than you think. People think this is something silly and stupid and all that, but I want gaming to be good. I want gaming to go back to being a pleasure instead of a chore. I want to be able to put something in and just lose myself in it, because that's what we play for, right? I don't play to identify myself within a game and to live a life because mine is pathetic or anything like that. I go to escape my life. I go because in real life, I can't take out a warhammer and bash in the heads of my enemies, because I'll probably get in a little bit of trouble. But in a game, I can do that. In a game, I can be, I can drive a Bugatti. I can do, I can do these different things. I can rappel off a building. I can hang glide. I can tame a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I can fly in outer space and fight aliens. All these different things I can do. I can't do at home. And I want to do it without being preached to. I want to do it without being made to feel bad because of who I am. And the fact that I don't subscribe to these weird cult-like ideologies that this small percentage of humanity subscribes to, and then they want to force everybody else to believe it and celebrate it and abide by it and all that. It's sad. So that's why I fight, And it might not be, like I said, it might not be the main reason that the industry's failing, but it's definitely a factor in there, and it's not helping things. If games were more accessible to everybody, and by everybody I mean normal people instead of just this weird niche population, and I'm going to give an example here. So I always say, if you want to make something for that group, make it, and that's fine. I can respect that. I have no problem with that. But what really gets us as gamers, and what really is frustrating, is when you take an existing IP, an existing character, something that's got history, whether you're adapting a movie into a game, or you're rebooting the game years later, or whatever. It's just another sequel in the game. If you change these things in it and you just update it for the modern audience, as they like to say, it just ruins everything. Don't do that. Make a new game. And I say this with movies and comic books and all that other stuff. Make a new comic book hero that lives your lifestyle that you want to promote and push, and create a good character that does that, and see how that goes. Make a movie about those characters. Don't take an existing character and change him, Don't take James Bond and make him black or make him a woman or something stupid like that. James Bond is James Bond. He's always been James Bond, and they'll argue with you, up and down about these things, and it's like, no, there's no reason to do that, And then when you look at it and something does change, it never goes back, Look at April from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She was white, and then one day she showed up, and I think it was I don't remember if it was a cartoon or live action, as a black girl, and she's been black ever since. And God forbid you ever change her back, because that's going to be whitewashing, even though it's just returning to the natural order of things. And these are the silly things that I see out there. This is why gaming is suffering, because people do stupid stuff like that. Let it go, man. Make a good game. There's a new game coming out, Dust Cloud, I think it's called, and that's like a brand new IP and all that. And it looks like it's made for that 1% crowd, and I expect it to sell appropriately because of that. It looks like complete garbage to me, but you know what? My respect to the developers, because they created a new IP, and they didn't take something that already existed and changed it for the modern audience. So whatever success it has, or failure, or whatever, it's going to stand on its own merits. And it's a game I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, and I guarantee you 95% of gamers won't. It'll probably sell a few thousand copies, and we'll see on Steam that it might have 200-300 concurrent players for a few days, and that'll just kind of dwindle down to, the low hundreds and all that. But hey, my respect, because you made your own thing, and that's cool in my book. Whether or not I agree with it and all that, it's not something I would ever play. It's not something I'd ever even entertain the thought of playing, but good for you for making it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me know what you think about this down below for Game Informer. I know this kind of went off topic and all that, but this is the latest casualty in this gaming apocalypse that we're witnessing over the last 2 years. And I'd rather be talking about this with Kotaku going away or whatever, but unfortunately it was Game Informer, so rest in peace, guys. I wish you all the best. Hopefully you'll land on your feet and return to form, and maybe give us, like I said, become the phoenix, give yourself a new life born from the ashes. I'm Cat the Beefy with the Game Vault. If you haven't done so, please leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to ring that bell for notifications. I will see you guys next time. Until then, peace.